Welcome to the first edition of Get to Know Your Warrior Football for 2015. I'm Sports Information Director Jeff Weiss, and joined today by Linebackers coach Keith McKenzie. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Before we look ahead to 2015, let's look back at 2014. You had two linebackers who performed extremely well for you. You had first-team All-American Norris Friday and Marcel Jones, a fifth-year senior who really stepped up and played well. Did they exceed your expectations last year?
Norris, no. I expected that Norris. It was just coming. It was time coming, and for him to step up and make plays like that, he was in a situation where he was rotating in early in with Steve O'Shell, and now everything got turned over to him. And I told him that he needed to make plays and be a leader and do what he needed to do to help this team win. And he stepped up bigger than I could even say. He made a lot of plays.
Yeah, to lead the country in tackles for loss was. Yeah. And then Marcel, I think the one play that kind of sticks out in my mind about Marcel last year was down at Finley, making the one-hand interception and taking it back for a touchdown. That kind of that was the year he had.
Yeah, Marcel, he started off as a really good special teams player for us, and it was unfortunate he was playing with, not unfortunate, but unfortunate for us, but he was playing behind Ed Viverette, who was a really good football player, a three-time all-conference player. So he didn't get much playing time, but when his time came, he seized the day, and he stepped up and he made a lot of good plays, and he did some really good things for us with his speed and his hustle. That play stands out bigger to a lot of people that he made that play, the one-hand interception, but he did a lot of good things throughout the season. You can't count how many times he ran somebody down and saved some touchdowns. Second home game, against Carson Newman. The quarterback gets out and he runs him down from the wide side of the field. So, he does some really good things, and the kid had a great career, and he finished off like a senior supposed to. I thought he should have been at least a second-team all-conference player, but making honorable mention was great for him.
Now looking ahead to 2015, you've got four guys returning that have seen time in linebacker positions: Anthony Dedemos, Idris Habdi, Valorian Cunningham, and then Dustin Carlin was the only true freshman to play last year. Yeah. What do you expect from that quartet this year?
Well, I expect big things. I always have high expectations for those guys, especially the guys that's played. The biggest expectations and the highest I have is probably for Anthony Dedemos, because he's been a starter. He had a chance to start a little bit at the end of his redshirt season, senior year. Last year he started off a little slow, but he picked it up and he finished the season really strong. And I expect a really all-conference performance from him this year. Idris, again, he was in a situation like Marcel, where he's playing behind a really good player. But I think it's time for him to take the reins off him and let him go. Yeah, he was a big part of our Okie package last year, and he got us lined up. And that was one of the huge packages of our defense. And he did really well there, and I think he's going to have a great year. As long as he can stay healthy and knock on wood, but I think he's ready to go, and he's seasoned the day, and he understands that this is his time. Valorian Cunningham, again, he won the spring. In the spring, he won the linebacker spot and lost it to Marcel, and rightfully so. Marcel had a really good year. He ended up getting injured, but he got some playing time in. And for Valorian, it was a learning experience, because he's coming from high school as a quarterback, came here to play safety for us, and then he got moved to linebacker. So he's been looking great. He's put on weight. He's about 220. And he looks good. He's got a good physique, and I think he's ready for the pounding that he's going to take to play linebacker. And he understands the position a lot better. And he's the one with the most upside, because he has a ton of ability. And Dustin backed up Anthony last year, and he did a great job coming in. He learned the defense. He was able to get us lined up, and Anthony was out this spring, and he took it over, and I think he got tremendously better. And he's going to be able to give us a break, give Anthony a break on the field. He's putting on weight, and he's doing a lot of good things. So I expect a good year out of him. Those young guys, those freshmen, that's going to be redshirt. They just got to prove themselves. They got to continue to learn. They got to continue to compete, and they got to prove themselves. And it'll all shake out. Who's going to be number 2 or who's going to be number 3? Make me have a tough decision. That's what I tell those guys. Make me have a tough decision. So, but I think those guys they're gonna be well. Those guys are getting stronger. They're working out and they're having a great summer. So, we'll see in the fall. Gutierrez is going to be good. Drew Dowding's got great size. He's probably got the biggest ceiling because he's the biggest and the most. He's athletic. I can't say the most athletic kid, but he's big and he's athletic. He can run. Pittman is big. He's athletic. He can run. Gutierrez is not as tall as those guys, but he's put on weight and he's athletic. He can play. So those three guys they're gonna factor in the mix. So.
Sounds like it's going to be an exciting camp trying to figure out who's going to make the first travel list for the Michigan Tech game.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's, those guys going to be fighting for special teams reps. They're going to be fighting for linebacker reps. It's going to be a competitive camp, and I'm happy to be ready to get out there and see what these guys can do. It's going to be a little nerve-wracking because I'm dealing with a little young guys, but they're getting better. And one of the things about those guys is they're smart. Those young guys, they're smart. They're good academically. They're really good academically. They're smart players. They take coaching and they really want to be good. So when you got all those factors in, I think we're going to be successful. And those guys going to really anchor the crew, the linebacker crew, for the next few years.
Sounds great. Well, thanks again for watching this edition of the Get to Know Your Warrior football program.